Welcome everyone to your business morning. It's a Thursday, the 28th of March. I am Bosun. It's good to have everyone around the table. Let's get the show started. The Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry has praised Tuesday, March the 26th, decision by Central Bank's Monetary Policy Committee to cut policy rate by 0.5% to 13.5%, saying, quote, "This is the appropriate policy choice at this time for the regulator." Although the chamber says the rate cut was not materially significant. A press statement, a two-page press statement issued by the chamber late Wednesday afternoon says that the economy needs both monetary and fiscal stimulus at a time like this, and expect that other monetary instruments will be adjusted by the Central Bank Monetary Policy Committee over time. The Lagos Chamber of Commerce, however, calls for the alignment of banking system activities, economic inclusion on the side of the fiscal authorities, and the rebalancing of the financial system and the various intermediation. While large chunk of credit to the federal government, according to the chamber, is not a healthy one. Meantime, also on Wednesday, a report by Bloomberg says that the rate cut by Nigeria's central bank MPC on Tuesday was a sign, has given signs so far positive for the Nigerian currency, the Naira. The MPR was cut to 13.50% on Thursday on the back of a steady oil prices around $70 a barrel and the country's nearly $6 billion inflows into the fixed income market since the February elections. On the back of this, the Bloomberg report that Nigeria's Naira will remain stable, and then went on to say that the rate cut also, Nigeria yields remain attractive because the central bank has been using short-term instruments to rein in liquidity, in particular over the last 6 months. So there's still a lot of reaction still coming through there for the surprising rate cut, which was announced Tuesday by the central bank Governor Godwin Emefiele, ending their two-day March meeting. So this is what the March PMI looks like. According to the central bank data a couple of hours ago, Nigeria's Purchasing Managers Index, which measures the manufacturing sector, showing a stronger reading to 5.4 level in an expansion of 24 consecutive months. That figure also shows a better reading across all the major indices. We'll break that down a little bit for you later on the program. The PMI also shows a better showing of 58.5 points, a 23 months expansion. That's for the non-PMI figure. So you have the PMI at, I beg your pardon, let me just check that. Again, 57.4, I beg your pardon. That's a mission of 7 there in the second line. That's 57.4. That's for the PMI, and the non-PMI better at 58.5 points. That's showing a 23 months consecutive expansion in those levels. So let's put that in the box. And of course, all this will be part of what analysts, investors, and traders will be looking at moving forward. Temple Ashaju is our business correspondent. He's live to us from studios at the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Temple, bright and early. Let's get today's show started. Coming here with the equities market down about 0.67% Wednesday, and the USID, NASD over-the-counter market down a whopping 2%. That's quite depressing for the market straight. Take it from here, Temple. Good morning.
Good morning, Bosun. Thanks for this opportunity. So the market was down yesterday by some 0.67%. We lost some 78.74 billion naira out of what we had earlier in the equity capitalization. And month-to-date performance expanded to 2.8%, while the year-to-date also expanded to 1.91% away from what it had closed at yesterday, the previous trading day. Volume of transaction yesterday also was on the decline levels, down some 8.54%. We saw it coming in at a value of 1.40 billion naira yesterday, and all the deals was just 2,786 in general. But if you take a look at the top trade of the market, Zenith Bank gained some 1.38%, had some 28 million units of its shares traded, and contributed some 607 million naira to the entire value of transactions that we saw yesterday in the markets. In terms of the market breadth, we saw a very battered market breadth yesterday, 19 losers to 11 gainers. And NEM Insurance declined the most by some 5.53%, while we had the top gainer as Union DAC, which gained some, Union Dacom, which gained some 10%. But if we go to the sectoral front, consumer goods segment of the market was down 39 basis points, and we saw NASCON declining some 4.21%, Dangote Flour 3.93%, and Presco, of course, as well as Guinness. Both of these companies generally contributed massively to the loss that we saw in that sector. And the banking segment of the market is next. Stanbic IBTC, Guarantee Trust Bank, Wema Bank, FBN Holdings, which was even gaining much earlier in early trades, eventually closed down 2.42%. So Stanbic, Guarantee Trust Bank, and Wema Bank, all of these pulls down the banking segment yesterday in the market. If we move to the oil and gas segment, Seplat was down 1.82%. It was the only company out of all the energy sectors, energy stocks that we have that went down yesterday, 1.82%. The industrial goods segment of the market managed to close uptick, some 0.03%, due to some 9.73% gains in Kiotex PLC. But for the large cap stocks that you have in that segment of the market, they were basically flat yesterday. Insurance sector of the market was also down 1.32%, and NEM Insurance was a major depreciator in that segment, which left that negative impact on that sector. On the energy sector, if you look at Corn Oil, it remains unchanged. Forte Oil, basically nothing there. 11 PLC was also unchanged, even though we saw some transactions there. MRS, non-changed. O&O, there was nothing there. Seplat, as I said earlier, was down 1.82%, and the only company that saw some movement there yesterday. Total had lost some value the day before. Eternal PLC had also lost some value the day before, so there was no movement across all of these major stocks that you have there, including Japol, which had some 2.5 million units of the shares traded. Over to the unlisted securities market, which is the NASD OTC, which is down by some 2.79%. That's a very, very negative performance yesterday. Closing, the USI closed at 730.37 with a market capitalization of just 524 billion naira. We saw volume at 290,539 with a value of 56.49 million naira. If you look at the deals, we had just 4 key securities that traded out of the 38 securities tradable on that platform, and we saw all of that. We saw just 10 deals across board there. Our Freeland Properties, which is tradable on that platform, had its AGM on the 26th, and of course today, 28th of March, is the payment date. So a lot of investors will be expecting their dividends of 5 kobo per unit to be paid to them today for those that actually participate in that platform. Our Freeland, yesterday also, had done some 1.3 million units of the entire volume of transaction we saw in the market yesterday. In terms of the fixed income segment of the market, yesterday for bonds, we saw the Debt Management Office holding its auction for the month, and of course it was oversubscribed. We saw an allotment of just about 30 billion naira across the April 2023 security, March 2025, and February 2028, which are all reopenings actually. And of course, if you look at the numbers on the screen, at the secondary market yesterday, where it was a bit bullish, we saw average yields compressing across board. For some of those securities that were reopened, there were some of them are also found here on the secondary side of the market. Average yield eventually compressed from 9 basis points to 14.05%. In terms of treasury bill segment of the market, we saw demand flourishing in that segment yesterday. Average yields moderated some 6 basis points to 13.51%. And buy sentiments spread across the short, the mid, and of course the long end of the curve. Boson.
Of course, the big story today for Nigeria is the new micro pension program that Mr. President is formally unveiling on behalf of the industry regulator, the National Pension Commission, or PENCOM as an acronym. So that means everyone on the street, even those who are self-employed, will need to have a pension scheme. It's called micro. So you can have something for yourself, no matter your level of income or savings. That's bringing everyone into the financial inclusion basket. Temple is one of those who will be in that basket of pension, I'm sure. So, Temple, this is a big day for everyone. But let's start on the equity side. Where are we this morning? Give us the first call on the opening bell.
Well, at this point, the market is still flat. We haven't seen any change in the indices of the market. So we've seen a bit of interest, though, more like retail trading going on so far in the banking and the oil and gas space. Talk about the tier 2 names, which quite a number of traders and investors had actually put in their money in recent times. The likes of Fidelity Bank, Wema Bank, they're the ones currently experiencing some trade, some activities, basically, right now in the market. So it's basically across the banking and oil and gas. Seplat was down yesterday by more than 1%, and we're currently seeing it on the top 5 traded lists of the transactions we've seen so far in the markets today. So I don't think anything has actually set into the market yet. We'll just have to wait to see how things pan out. However, we've seen a couple of earnings coming in. Yesterday we saw earnings from PZ Nigeria PLC. They released their 9 months numbers, which was really negative. It was not impressive at all, and that didn't really get any form of sentiment from investors. It's trading around 10 naira, and it is looking like it will go much lower, and that's the level that it's been trading at now for some time. Because if you take a look at that price, that's about the rate we saw it last sometimes in 2009. And so with the kind of sell-off that we've been seeing in the market lately, I think that price is probably going to go lower. The other earnings that we're tracking in the market, or that we're digesting in the market, is that of Custodian Investments PLC. That has an impressive top line. Some 50 billion naira came in there, and a very good profit before tax. But when you look at the bottom line, talking about the profit after tax, that's currently negative by some 2.78%, and that's some 7.11 billion naira. However, there's a 35 kobo proposed dividend for this particular company, and that is something that some investors are currently eyeing at this point in time. Because if you look at the trades on it so far, we've seen 3 trades on it, and the volume of transaction on it is just 4 million so far.
Temple, we have all the time tomorrow to talk more about that. Thank you very much. Have a great day, but don't sound depressed, whatever your stock market is doing. You sounded a little bit depressed when you started because the market is reading almost neutral as we speak at the moment. Don't let it affect you. Get on the sea and this on the upper side. Have a sunshine day, everyone, shall we? See you again tomorrow, Friday. Goodbye from Lagos.